Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Golden Wrestling Convo. I can't call it. I can't fucking call it. Like Metallic versus Sabre Jr., I can't call it. If you're saying that it's blank there, I can't fucking call it. All right. So sorry. Maybe I'll be able to call it by the time we get to the end of these 15 minutes. Let's look at the rest. We'll start off on the left side here because it's the most obvious one to me. Kenneth Johnson versus Akira Tozawa. Tozawa's winning. Like that's without question. Now I haven't seen the first round. I believe I've heard most of the first round has already been recorded. Please, I'm begging you, do not tell me who wins the first round. I'm trying to go into this spoiler free, and obviously this will be spoiler free. This is just my guesses. I am an educated pro wrestling fan. I have been watching for 29 years. I go and I watch Ring of Honor live. I watch a lot of the independents. I know who some of these guys are. So, if you want an in-depth look at it, we got 15 minutes here. Give me your ears. Thank you for listening. I think Tozawa wins. I think that's obvious. So these aren't spoilers. These are just very educated guesses, is what I'm trying to say. I think Tozawa beats Kenneth Johnson, obviously. Like, Tozawa is from Dragon Gate. He's had a fairly good career there. Kenneth Johnson, I don't know who the hell he is. Tozawa, easy. Jack Gallagher versus Fabian Aichner. I don't know who the hell Fabian Aichner is. If you saw my reaction to the 32 combatants or whatever that they put up on YouTube, I said that Fabian Aichner looks like a creator wrestler, and that's what he looks like to me. I think Gallagher wins that one. They did a nice little piece on him earlier today on the WWE Network, which is another reason why I think Gallagher wins that one. I don't think they put I don't think they give time to somebody who's just going to job, who's just going to lose in the first round. You know what I mean? I think they have high hopes for Gallagher. I think he gets past the first round. Damian Slater versus Tajiri. Here's a shocker for everybody. I think Tajiri loses. There's two vets, that have done a lot in WWE. Tajiri's one of them, former Cruiserweight champion. He also had a great run as a comedy actor when he did his bits with William Regal. I mean, in many ways, Tajiri's a legend in his own right. He had the Classics versus Super Crazy and Little Guido. But I think he jobs. I think he loses in the first round. I think he ends up back on WWE TV, but not as much as people think. Like, people think that he's going to come back big and that this is like his coming out party. I don't see that happening. I think he jobs in the first round. I think Tajiri's role and why he got signed, for those that don't know, he did get signed by the WWE, is going to be more of a developmental thing. I think he'll probably be backstage a lot, helping the likes of Hideo Itami and Nakamura, and Nakamura doesn't need any help. Neither does Itami, really. But helping the likes of, the Japanese wrestlers, because Tajiri obviously is also a Japanese wrestler. He used to have the Japanese flag on his tights. And he's had a lot of success getting over here in WWE, getting over in the States, being popular in the United States. And I think they want him to impart some of his wisdom on the newer Japanese talent that is coming in now. So that's what I think his job is. That's why I think he got hired. I don't think he beats Slater. I think Slater goes forward. I'm a little upset that they booked Metallic versus Saez in the first round. Saez is from Chile. I thought that was awesome. I want to see what he brings to the table. I've never seen a wrestler from Chile before. But I think Metallic wins. Máscara Dorada is already a legend in his own right, which is insane because I found out today he's only 27. I thought he was much older than that. But, worked in New Japan, has legendary rivalry in Mexico versus Volador Jr. I don't see Metallic losing early. Then we got Shira versus Drew Gulak. I apologize to the fans from India. I think H. Shira is going to lose in the first round. I think Gulak's going to win. Former CCW champion. He looks like a great bad guy. I think Gulak wins that one. I'm upset that Tyson Dukes is booked against Zack Sabre Jr. in the first round. I had Tyson Dukes as my sleeper pick. The guy's swole. You can tell he hits the gym a lot. And he's from Canada. He's from fucking Canada. You know what I mean? Canada always gives us great pro wrestlers. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Canada. Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Dukes is from Canada. But it looks like he's going to job. There's no way Sabre Jr. loses in the first round. Another one that could technically be considered a legend already. PWG champion, Rev Pro champion, huge following in England. He even wrestled in Pro Wrestling Noah. He was probably the junior champion. I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. I don't see Sabre Jr. losing. Like, I don't think he'd do this if he was going to lose right away. It just hurts his reputation. I don't think it would be smart. So I got Sabre Jr. Advancing. Sorry, Tyson Dukes. Try again next year. It's upsetting that you got placed there in the first round. Personally, I thought Dukes would get farther. And here's a shocker. I got Noam Dar doing the job in the first round. I got G Shira going over him. And that's because there's a huge fan base in India. And somebody's got to go over from India. One of the Bollywood boys is going over. I don't think Gulak's going to do the job. I think Noam Dar is. Noam Dar is a much less name than Gulak. Gulak has already been CCW champion. I think Noam Dar does the job. Sorry, Europe, and I know he's like big over there in England and in the European countries. I'm sorry, I think he does the job. Then we got Davari, who's the old school Davari's brother, and Ho Ho Loon. I think Ho Ho Loon wins this one. It's really a toss-up. You know, Davari is representing the Middle East, so I mean he could win, but I don't see somebody from China not advancing. There has to be somebody from China that advances. And if you look at the right side on the bottom here, you got Swan versus Jason Lee, and I don't think Rich Swan loses because he's from NXT. So therefore, by process of elimination, Ho Ho Loon beats Davari because somebody from China has to win. They're trying to get a global thing going. China's brand new to the wrestling thing, and it was actually an organization was started by Ho Ho Loon. So I think Ho Ho Loon wins. I think he moves on. I think he has a strong showing in the next round. So now we have Raul Mendoza now going to the right, to the top of the right bracket here. We got Raul Mendoza versus Brian Kendrick. I think Mendoza does the job here. I think Kendrick goes over. And I think a lot of viewers are going to be surprised by how good Kendrick is. Kendrick is really good. Then we got Anthony Bennett versus Tony Nese. Now, I don't know a damn thing about Anthony Bennett. I looked him up. The only thing I could say is he's charismatic. You know, he's got the high top fade or whatever. He's very memorable. But I don't think he beats Tony Nese. Tony Nese is swole as fuck. He had a run in TNA. This is a toss-up. Like, if Anthony Bennett wins, I wouldn't be surprised. But I got Tony Nese on this one. And then we got Ibushi versus Sean Maluta, who is part of the Roman Reigns family. He's one of those. He's a Samoan. So obviously the Samoan lineage goes way far back for the WWE, and everybody knows that. So probably one of the ways they were able to entice Ibushi to be in this, other than the fact that I'm sure he really wanted to be in it, but they probably said, not only are we going to put you far in the tournament, but you're going to beat a Samoan in the first round. And Ibushi was like, hell yeah. So I think Ibushi goes over Sean Maluta. I've never heard of the guy before. He may have a good run. Expect him to be back next year if they're doing more of these tournaments. Cedric Alexander versus Clement Petio is another one that I think it's a toss-up. A lot of these are toss-ups. And if I think they're toss-ups, I'll say I think it's a toss-up. Alexander has had a good run in ROH, but Clement Petio is trained by Lance Storm. You know what I mean? And they already brought in Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, who were trained by Lance Storm. So they seem to like those that are trained by Lance Storm. So Petio has a chance here. I'm going to put Cedric Alexander as winning, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, I got Cedric winning. And also, I believe Clement Petio is from France, so they may want to get the French fans something to watch. And Clement Petio may go over. I gotta go with Cedric because I'm a big ROH fan, but don't be surprised if Clement Petio goes over. TJ Perkins versus the Mac, that's obvious. TJ Perkins had a good run in TNA as Manic and all that stuff. He's going over. Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. I got Gargano. I got Johnny Wrestling. I wouldn't be surprised if Ciampa wins, but I got Gargano. Dorado versus Mustafa Ali. I got Dorado. Again, I couldn't find anything about Mustafa Ali other than he had one dark match in ROH. It hurts me because he's from my state of Illinois. But I got Lindsay Dorado. He worked in Chicago. I think he's going to win. Rich Swann versus Jason Lee. Like I said earlier, I got Swann. Somebody from NXT has to win. Now back to the left upper, we got Tozawa versus Metallic. There's no shame in losing to Metallic here. Surprised that this would happen. Well, actually, we have Tozawa versus Gallagher, which I got Tozawa winning. We're barely on the second round here. Metallic versus Slater. Metallic wins fairly easy. Sabre versus Gulak. I think Sabre wins in what could be a great match. I only got 5 minutes, so I'm going to start going really fast here. Then we got Sira versus Hu Ho Loon. Sorry, India. I think China moves it. They get to the third round, and I think WWE really tries to get their fan base to watch this by having a Chinese competitor make it to the third round. And then on the right side, we have Kendrick versus Ibushi. I think Ibushi wins with a match that may actually steal the entire fucking tournament. TJ Perkins versus Swan. I don't see them putting a TNA guy over an NXT guy, so I think Swan wins. No, wait. I'm in the wrong fucking bracket. My bad. Kendrick versus Nice. I think Kendrick wins. Ibushi versus Cedric. Ibushi wins. TJ Perkins versus Gargano. TJ Perkins wins. Dorado versus Swan. Swan wins. Okay. So now we're in the right bracket. Okay. So it's Tozawa Metallic. I think Metallic wins. Sabre Jr. Ho Ho Loon. I think Sabre Jr. wins. Kendrick Ibushi could be the match of the tournament. I think Ibushi wins. TJ Perkins and Swan. I think Swan wins. Swan and Ibushi could also be the tournament. The best match of the tournament. I think Ibushi wins. Metallic and Sabre Jr. I can't fucking call it. And I'm sorry that I sped through a lot of the tournament there, but I really wanted to get to this. Metallic, Máscara Dorada, he's pretty much a legend already. NWA champion, multiple championships in CML, stole the show in NJPW a couple times, has a classic rivalry with Volador Jr., and they were doing amazing stuff down in CMLL. So much so that they ended up in NJPW at Hurricane Hall, and they had an amazing match out there. Sabre Jr., England literally on his back and on his jacket, Rev Pro champion, PWG champion, is considered the best technical wrestler in the world right now. I can't fucking call it. You know what I mean? I'm of Mexican heritage. Both of my parents are Mexican, so that would make me an American Mexican. I really want to say Metallic. And I think Metallic Ibushi would be a great match. But I also really want to say Sabre Jr. because I don't think Sabre Jr. does this show unless he gets to the finals. He's a big name, but so is Metallic. So then you look at what the WWE may want. There's already Mexican professional wrestler. They have Sin Cara and they have Kalisto. Perhaps they think they're not good enough or something. I don't think that's necessarily the case. Kalisto's amazing. So would they want to bring Metallic in? Would they want to bring Sabre Jr. in? Would CMLL let Metallic come to this tournament unless he makes it to the finals? Would Sabre Jr. come to this tournament unless he makes it to the finals? I don't fucking know. It's a complete toss-up. I don't know. That's going to be the most interesting match to watch, especially since Metallic, aka Máscara Dorada, is so heavy in the lucha style. He's a luchador, like 100%. You know what I mean? And Zack Sabre Jr. is England. He's English style, 100%, which is just submissions, mat based, 100%. So how they're going to clash together is going to be worth the $10 alone if you're a pro wrestling fan. And for me, this is a fucking dream. This is a dream. It's a dream come true. Whoever wins will face Ibushi in the finals. I could see Metallic winning if they want to go after the Mexican crowd and get them more interested. I could see Sabre Jr. because England is a very hot place for pro wrestling right now. I don't see Ibushi winning. I know he's a favorite. I know a lot of people want to say Ibushi. I want to say Ibushi as well. He's probably overall the best in this tournament, but I think he wants to be in WWE so much that he wouldn't mind doing the job. I could see Ibushi winning too, though. I mean, he's the only one out of everybody here that's had a 5-star match with Nakamura at that. So I can see Ibushi winning too. So yeah, the Final Four is where it gets crazy. I don't see Swan winning. Even though he's NXT, I don't see him winning. Not against Ibushi. And I can't call Metallic versus Sabre. And yeah, that's where this tournament is. Thank you for watching. I'm just rambling here. I appreciate your view. Like, comment, subscribe.